I'm going to help you define the word dollar in law and teach you how to discuss and talk about the subject money, not in vague terms, not in unclear terms. We'll give you the information and knowledge here that your high school and college economics textbooks did not give you, and I don't know why they don't have it, but I'm presenting it here. Also, almost all the books about the subject money, as you look them up. They're vague in manner and are not specific and clear, and they don't explain the legal tender laws or show you the wording on the paper money over time, which is essential to understanding this issue. The investors give you a vague idea about money in the first paragraph of their books, but they don't tell you the truth about money. They're just talking about investing and the printing of money, and that's not very clear. I'm also giving you the information in small bits about Merrill Jenkins, who did more about the subject research about the subject money than anybody in human history. I am a student of his, and you will see why as you read through this material. What is the solution to the money issue today? The first solution is to understand how we got into this financial mess by the specific laws over time and not get fooled again. This reading material that I have, nobody else has it, and it's new and condensed from Merrill Jenkins. The second part of the solution for the people is to understand fractional reserve banking and how immoral it is, and not allow it again on a global level with the IMF and World Bank. This is being done with the Federal Reserve Banking Act of 1913 that was 40% gold as reserves, and this law must go. Compulsory education must be changed because it's manipulating and misinforming the children, teaching them to be employees rather than self-sufficient individuals living off the land. The next solution is to vote in the people at the county level that are logical, moral, and reasonably smart to represent us on a federal level. The legal tender laws. If you haven't read the legal tender laws, you cannot discuss the subject money even though people are investors, bankers, and smarter than you and your parents regarding the subject money. These people do not know what they're talking about specifically and give you vague and confusing information regarding the subject money. The legal tender laws are very specific, and they defined what we use as money as a medium of exchange in law. It's very simple. The law is obligated to define words clearly and what they are using as words to define the subject money. So begin with reading the Coinage Act of 1792 and specifically Section 20, and read this Coinage Act along with the Coinage Act of 1965 so you can read the basic information that almost nobody read and understands. I'm showing you in this video the law that defined what is a dollar in law. The legal tender laws are the laws regarding money. The Coinage Act of 1792 was created because of the worthless continental dollar, and the founding fathers had to remedy the situation in law. And we are going to run into that same problem now. We have a worthless Federal Reserve note, and we got to remedy the situation. But anyhow, so this is the website. You can look it up. It's a government website, and it lists the Coinage Act. Section 11, you can read that there. And then Section 20, it states the money of account of the United States shall be expressed in dollars. That is still law. The dollar is a quantity of silver in coin form and was used as the money. Dollars are not the money. The metal was the money. Now the public has been hoodwinked and brainwashed today to think that dollars are the money. They are not the money. There is no US dollar. The word dollar is still specifically an expression of the money in a quantity in coin form. Mr. Jenkins taught me this in one of his videos. I had to watch it 10 times to understand what he's saying. And the public, you can fool the people most of the time. And everybody keeps saying dollars are the money. That is factually not true. And he states that in one of his videos on YouTube. He says specifically there is nothing called a dollar that is circulating in law. So go look him up on YouTube.